Okay, we are on YouTube. We are here with all of these interesting people and one more immersion. Before we start, I'd like to remember how Talk and Talk works. Here is a platform that you can learn a lot of interesting, the most important language, my point of view, actually. Italian, Spanish, French, Mandarin, and of course English. It offers interesting tools besides that, like mentoring, and the most importantly, my point of view, the chance to speak more, practicing more our skills in speaking. Okay, it's just immersion, and I'm not it's not a class, and I'm just a student like all of you. And here we believe the importance of the make mistake. It's an important part of the learning process. And we have some questions to help guide us the conversation. It's only for this end, you know. It's not necessary answer all the questions. It's just to help us here. And yeah, that's it. Let's start with presentation ourselves. It's the first time of Thiago with my immersion. So one more time, welcome aboard. And okay, I'd like to start with you, Rosalia. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, guys. I'm Rosália. I live in Joinville, Santa Catarina, south of Brazil. I'm married. I have two children. They are adults today. My daughter is psychology, and my son work as IT and developer or system. And I have been studying English for more or less 5 years. I love the studying new language. Nowadays, I'm studying English, Spanish, and Italian at the same time. And what else? I think that's it. Okay, for today.
Congrats. I didn't know that your daughter was a psychologist. I didn't remember
Yeah,
that. Okay,
that's
okay.
sure.
Okay, please, Francine, introduce yourself. Good morning again.
Okay, good morning, guys. My name is Francine, but you can call me Fran. I'm analytics engineer. I migrate for this area for almost 3 years. My graduated was in tourism. So I'm from Minas Gerais, but I have lived in Curitiba for 6 years. I'm married and I have one pet, and I am 34 years old. That's okay.
Congrats and welcome aboard again. Yanka, your turn.
Morning, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a little asleep today. I took a long time to fell asleep, yeah, yesterday, so it's a hard morning. But morning, my name is Yanka. I am 28 years old. I'm living in São Roque with my mom and my brother. I am a demographer. I am in this area, I'm trying to merge sociology and data analysis, but populational data, not company data or this kind of data. It's a different kind of data and a different kind of analysis too. And now I am trying to see the odds that the people has to complete the higher education. So we are trying to do this with some bias like gender, race, region, wage, this kind of thing, and trying to analyze the odds that this kind of people has to complete the higher education and the difference between this kind of people and what impact more to have a higher education or to don't have a higher education. Like that. And you, Thiago, morning. Nice to see you again.
Good morning. I'm a system architect nowadays, but in my experience, I have another positions and like a project manager, product owner, system analyst, software engineer. So it's the same position that I I participate in my life. Uh, I'm married. I have two children, one boy and one girl, one pet. It's a dog. Um, and I'm 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 here to learn more, but I think that we we all get the more friends and learn more to speak with confidence. It's important today to me. I think it is that.
So, welcome aboard, Thiago, again. And I hope you could like this immersion. Okay, well, let's start our conversation, guys. Well, I'd like to. Well, Rosalia, could you read and answer the question number 1 for us, please? Oh, I didn't present myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, yesterday let me see. I I went, I guess went, yeah. I went to the Spanish consul in São Paulo City about my Spanish citizenship. I'm in a process to get the Spanish citizenship, and finally it's almost done. One more step to get my citizenship. It's a hard process. I'm in this process for around of 2 years. So yeah, it's a lot of expensive, and we have to spend a lot of time to achieve that. Well, I'm here in Talking Talk since beginning of June, last June. My motivation is completely about my career, but I've realized that I like English. I've never realized that because actually I put English in my leisure time, for example. Almost everything I'm doing, actually, I'm put English in almost everything. It's so interesting because all of I'm learning, actually I'm using English. So it's I really I've never thought that I would like this way, like English this way. So yeah, that's it about me. Oh, and I'm a software developer for around 4 years. I'm specialized in front end development for last 3 years, a little bit more than last 3 years. Okay, guys. Now, actually, let's move on to the next question. Rosalia, please. Question number 1.
For sure. What makes a story engaging or memorable for you? Can you share an example of a story that has stuck you with you? Okay, for me, for engaging, memorable part of history. I think when you are listening to someone to read something, some history, the writer need to keep the attention of the listen, because I think the history should provoke with the person are reading or listening. I was participating in a group of Italian readers. Then there are only one person there have a different kind of writer. When she starts to write, you are part of the history. Everyone pay attention, keep our attention. It's like, I don't know what's happened, because she have this don, I don't know, because she really, it's respect the punctuation and put some emotion in your voice. It's like she have making part of the story. It's amazing. I always said I wanna learn to read like this, because it's amazing. Keep
And we
attention
have a
to
lot of
everyone.
techniques. We have
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of techniques to do that, but it's
yeah,
hard.
yeah, it's hard, because always I think she only opened the book and start to reading and keep attention for everyone. It's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. Especially
that's it.
when we learn a new language, we don't have confidence to speak and
Yeah.
change our intonation and something like that. It's hard to at the
You
same time. Huh?
yeah, you are trying to make some pronunciation, different pronunciation, and the pronounce is not the same. And then keep our attention. I don't know. It's amazing.
Yeah, I admire these people like you. Okay.
Yeah.
And for you, Yuka, if you could share an experience that you have, well, have heard a friend or a people that speak with you a good story, feel free.
Okay. What, in my perspective, may be what make a story engaging or memorable. I like to fun things and I like to laugh a lot. So to me, at first, this kind of thing get my attention when I know that it's a joke or a stand-up or something like that. I go open to hear that and to laugh with and so on. And even when you are telling a bad story, a tragic story, something that happened that is not good, but you tell in a funny way, I do this all time. I think this engage me too and make me paying attention more in this. But to do this, to engage, to make the story engaging, maybe it's your openness, sua abertura to the matter, your style, if you like fun things or so on, and facts maybe. Nowadays we are not, I think it's difficult. We open a book like Jorge Amado, very descriptive books that take a long time to happen the things during the story. We nowadays, I think we don't have
Machado
patience
de
to this
Assis.
kind. Yeah, we don't have more patience to Capitães de Areia, Sertões e Veredas, you know. We don't have more, unfortunately, because we are used to get the things more fast, and we don't have more time to rest and open
TikTok
a book.
generation, young.
Yes.
5 second videos is enough.
But maybe all the generation is being TikTokized, maybe
Yeah,
because all the generations is having this kind of short attention and short patience,
yeah.
and cada vez mais, uh, sim, cada vez mais short attentions to get this kind of things. So nowadays, I think short things, direct to the point, and with facts or something that release dopamine in your brain will engage you on that thing. Yeah, I think it's that. A story I think I have to think more to remember now.
Okay, don't worry. We are charged to be to speak and think as quickly and direct way. Unfortunately, it's a good thing in a party, but like you said, it's a bad in when we, especially when we think in emotional, you know. Okay, and you, Francine, what's your opinion, your point of view about this question number one?
Okay, for me, I like so much stories about inspiration. For me, I like know another people how achieve your goals, how achieve your, I don't know, how the people handle with the challenges, and for me it's the best. I think that because of this I like so much biography books, and I don't like so much books about history. For example, I like watch movie like Harry Potter, but I don't have courage for read this kind of book. Understand? I like so much understand about the life of the people. I think it's more about self knowledge, understanding more things, uh, not not just about career, but personal things and self knowledge. So I like so much this kind of histories stories.
Yeah, me too. I share with you. And you, Thiago?
Well, when you talk about storytelling, it's a problem to me because storytelling give to us a formula to how can you talk about a history. It's like a saga of the hero. You needed one person that this person has a problem that we see in the video. We have this person has a resolution, has emotions, and all these things capture the spectators to to concentrate in this. It is applied in books, in films, and many kinds of the ways that we will say in a history. It's applicate the storytelling. And when I know this formula, I think that's for me is a little boring because uh, I we know the structure of the history, and sometimes it, when I start in the history, I know that the how will be the end of the history, and I think sometimes it's terrible, but uh, sometimes the director of the history of the film change the position of these elements and cause for me a surprise in certain uh, and uh, and for me, it's difficult to me has engaged of history
I think
or
all of us, it's hard.
it's hard. All right. I think for now it's difficult to me I remember a history for now that I can bring an
Don't
example.
worry,
I think I don't have for now.
don't worry, don't worry. Uh, well, especially for techie guys, in my point of view, Thiago, it's hard to getting this kind of ability because we used to stay alone with the machine, alone with the PC, doing making our code, thinking a lot, speaking alone, something like that. So it's hard. I know a lot of great persons and professional, but a lot of times it's hard to express their ideas. So uh, yeah, it's a common problem in my point of view. It's okay. Well, for me, engaged stories is about we can make the people listen what they want to listen. I think it's one of the most important thing. I really love real stories, like Francine said. I really love that. I used to actually I don't have time, but I love to watch movies and series, documentaries about real stories. My last documentary that I've watched is Minimalist on Netflix, and I love that. And I recommend for you if you didn't watch this. Um, Let me see. Oh, and I will tell you a short story that I've loved to live that about my father. And my father decided to live in a bad relationship, bad marriage for around of 30 years of his life just to take care of me. I'm an only child, and he said to me this some years ago. And of course, I appreciate that. I love that, but I'm sure that it's not always it's the good way to live the life, my point of view, because you can make a good father, a good partner, and we sacrifice all of our life to do this. In my point of view, could be a problem. Depend of the context, of course, you know. So it's a good story for me. I remember a lot that, and uh, I have a lot of other stories, but I think it's a good example for me. Okay, let's move on to the next question, guys. Yanka, please, could you read and answer that?
Okay, if you could tell a story to a famous person, who would you choose and what kind of story would you share? Reading this question, I thought about two stories and two persons. First one, it will be the creator of Google Maps or Waze, and I would tell all stories that I had passing through bad place because I put a route on that app and I was guided to no one place. I am living now in São Roque, and in here there's areas with a lot of nature in the middle of nowhere. And these days
A
I
lot of
was
wine.
Yes, but these days I was guided to my house. I was in the center of the city and I wanted to go to my house. And this app put me in the middle of really nowhere. It's like just vegetation in all sides and a street of barro and a long street of barro. I never thought that if the carro broke in that way, we would stay stuck in there because doesn't have even sign to call someone. And this is just one story that I passed with Google Maps. or Waze. I don't know why they did this. They do this, to be honest. And another person could be a director, Mr. Night Shyamalan. It's a Indian director that directs some movies, and he made a series of films that I really like, that is Fragmentado, Vidro, O Sexto Sentido também, it's really famous, but mainly because of Sexto Sentido e Fragmentado, that are stories that have a turn point, a very beautiful turn point in their stories, and I really would like to tell how I feel watching that movie. Mainly Fragmentado too, that's a person that has several personalities inside of this person, and it was a really impacting movie, I think. So these two persons.
I've heard about Fragmentado, but I've never watched. Okay, Anka. For you, Thiago, could you share a famous story that you could like to share with us, or question number 2?
I don't have a specific person that I famous person that I talk about someone. I don't first because I don't have I don't know
Some
I don't
entrepreneur.
I don't are I don't be a fan for someone famous. I don't know for now who to talk and what the history to talk for him or for her. I
Okay.
pass this question.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Fran, your turn, please.
Okay, if I could tell a story, famous person, I think would be Viola Davis, because I started a book some time ago, and I don't finish it yet, but the woman was incredible because I love stories about separation. So she had to face face poverty, pobreza, and racism, and she had a lot of difficulties in life with her family, with friends, with boyfriend, and everyone. But she wins. I think she wins. Now she, uh,
You're breaking up. Fran, you're breaking up. And your
See,
face
are
is
frozen.
funny. Yeah. It's not working yet. Oh, I think it's
The
working
end
now.
of your story are broken, are
Yeah,
freezing.
yeah,
and now I'm here.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's working.
now it's
Okay. So the main reason is because she faced all the things in your life, and she become the woman that she is nowadays. So that's it.
Okay, great. Uh, it's a good, a really impressive woman, Viola Davis, for sure. Rosalia, your turn, please.
okay, guys. As Thiago, I don't have a famous person to tell my story because I'm a bad teller story. But I would like to retell the story that my father tells for us. It's not uh, a story that everyone knows because I realized that when I was young, more or less, that I was trying to talking about to tell the story. for others, and no one knows. Even my cousin, no one knows this story. Only my family, my siblings and my mom, because my father invented some story for us and always talk the same story. It's like this story. It was the book because my my father invented it, and all the story is related the same kind of person characteristics. Then I remember the one. It's nowadays I think was the way my father asked for us take care about ourselves, because he always say talking about the man animal or women animal. This kind of animal was around us and trying to find the children alone, far the adults, and carry these children for your toca. I don't know how can I say that, and raising these children to become your wife or husband. Then always you are, oh my gosh, involved, because this provokes us to take care about ourselves. And always he tell it these stories for us. And when we are together in our family, then we ask for my siblings, for other part of our family. No one knows this story. My relative, only my family and my this story. It's amazing. This amazing story.
Oh, I need to share with you. I've tried to be this kind of your father,
Yeah,
Rosalia, but I don't have this creativity. I don't know if it's correct.
yeah,
I don't have this. It's so hard to create stories for our children, especially our children, because actually the children is so creative and have a lot of things
yeah,
on their mind. It's so hard to do.
yeah. You are in eight siblings.
Oh my
Our
goodness.
around around the stove. Then he
Your father
told
has
this
a
story.
dome.
Yeah, it's
Great,
amazing.
great. Well, for me, I like Fran. I really appreciate emotive stories. It's look like a coach talking, but I really appreciate that. I have a lot of entrepreneur and sportish guys stories. I really like of the Senna stories, Ayrton Senna stories about when he was a child, he couldn't racing. It was he was bad. He said that, and some guys that lived close to Senna by the time talk about that in a documentary that I've saw about that. Another person that I really appreciate the separation history is Kobe Bryant, a basketball player that had passed in a tragic way some years ago. I think 1 or 2 years ago. It's a story look like Senna, you know. Uh, he after he had gained a lot of money, a lot. It's common. Brian starting his practicing 1 or 2 hours before the other teammates, you know, and he finished that 3 4 hours after the training had over, you know. So uh, I've learned a lot about two guys that we have to be patient. Uh, pay, we have to we have to be a passionate person for whatever we want. We are doing. You know. So well, if I'm a software developer, I'll do my best to achieve some level, for example, and something like that. And the last history is about a movie that I've watched some time ago on Netflix again, called My Name is Dolittle, by Eddie Murphy. I don't know if you have heard about this movie. It's a comedy movie, but had a really, really interesting history uh, inside, yeah, inside of this humor history. He was a guy, he's an actor and a showman, I would like, that had a lot of difficult life to achieve some level in his life, you know. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, I talked a lot. Let's go to the next question, number 3. Fran, your turn, please.
Okay. When listening to a story, if you notice it lacks a good ending, does that change how you feel about the entire story? Yes, my expectation goes down when the end is bad. For example, um, different that Tiago said about the hero story. I study marketing. I understand a lot about this, the journey of the hero, but I like so much because people start in the with the problems and after that become a hero or a strong person. So I like so much this kind of histories. Oh my God. And because of this, for example, when I saw a movie and the end it's not happy, I thought, oh my God, it's just this when the happy end I like so much of kind of this history. So when uh, a TV show, a series ends in not have a good end, I don't like. I thought, oh my God, it's just this. No, I lost my time see this kind of
What is a
things.
good end for you, Fran?
For me, it's a end that have uh, end. For example,
Okay, okay.
because when people, for example, I don't like and when people die, for example. Oh my God, people die. No, I like if people die, okay, goes on the story, and then another person found another person,
I got you.
or because I don't know, it's like a thing in the air. What
Yeah,
happens and after? So
like
for
some
me, the
some
expect
video games, you know, you have to buy a DLC to see the final history.
yeah, I like stories of this kind of things. I'm piegas.
Okay, I've got for sure. You like the stars have a ending, you know. It's important to have an ending, okay. Rosalia, for you?
Yeah, I think I'm like Francine because I love the end of the movie, the end of history, then the wheel of fate of life. Because I remember yesterday I was watching a movie called Grace and Courage. I don't know if you had watched this movie. It's amazing at the beginning, but at the end of the she dies. But it
Oh my goodness.
it was amazing too because have some peace in the end of the because she was sick then. Oh my gosh, how the story was like take my attention, but in the end of the story, it's not good. But at the beginning, I don't I didn't know the end of the story. Maybe eu não teria assistido, I don't know why, but because depend of the book that when I start to read it, the first thing I used to read the last page. If realize the end is not good, all the history start to become boring, then I want to stop. Then, oh my gosh, I need to change the way to read because I will stop in the middle of the book. The end will change my way to continue.
Yeah, yeah. I've got it, Rosário. Thiago?
First, I said a lot that I feel, but I like so much the real stories, and mm, in the same time that I know that the structure about the journey of the hero, but we in the history, I think that a real history we can for me has an expectation about the some facts that that I will see in this kind of the history and and we have in this kind some facts that is different and that has a way different way that the history was told. Um, I like so much about this, but like the Francine said, sometimes it in the end of the history, it's I like so much when is unexpected final that we can know that we'll finish. Oh, it's different. Like I think in it about the end. I know it's the better for me.
Okay, okay. Well, for me, I totally agree with Fran. When the story haven't end, it's a problem. Um, in my point, in my case, I really appreciate like Thiago real stories, and of course, in real stories, almost sometimes we don't have a happy ending, you know. So for example, I really like of the um, army histories, you know, war histories and movies and documentaries and series, because sometimes I used to speak here and talking on the immersions. Sometimes the humans have been uh, enhanced a lot of things because the wars, you know. I brought a lot of um, examples sometimes, like internet, um, some devices, some like that. So it's a bad thing. We learned a lot and produced a good things to our current life, for example. So uh, I can't remember a history with a bad ending actually. Let me see. Yeah, I can remember that. But I'm a person like Fran. I really appreciate the histories that have a ending, you know. And yeah, that's it, guys. Our time is almost over. Oh, Yanka, did you answer? Yanka, your turn. I'm sorry.
It's okay. To me, a story doesn't need to have a good end. I understand bad ends because in the life we not always have a good end. In general, we have turning point ends or we don't have an end. Maybe I feel that I was used to have good ends because of fairy tales, and I was hoping a good end in my life too. But during this time that we are getting adults, it seems that we realize that the final of the story not always will be a good end, you know. And yeah, because of that, I think that this thing changed to me. But thinking about the stories and thinking about movie, I like turning point ends. Like as I mentioned before, one movie that I really like is Sexto Sentido, and it's about a psychologist that treats a child that is seeing dead people. I see dead people every time. I think you heard this before on the internet. And in the end of this movie, the psychologist realized that he is dead too. And this child is just talking with him. And this realize that during the entire movie, you don't realize this. And just in the end, you have this turning point that he was dead all the movie, entire movie. So this kind of turning point story really makes me not happy, but it's nice to have this kind of emotion in the end. So yeah, I think it's that.
Great, great history with spoilers.
Yeah,
But
but it's
it's an
a
old movie.
filme de
I know, I know. I know,
1999.
I know.
If you didn't
Yeah, yeah.
watch,
We never watch more. You're right. You're right. Okay, guys. Guys, the timer is almost over. Unfortunately, I would like to talk about one more question, but we don't have time, unfortunately. I would like to ask you if what did you learn today? Of course, storytelling, it was a hard topic for all of us. I've realized that. So, what did you learn? I'd like to start with you, Fran, please.
Uh, I don't know exactly what I'm learning here, but I like to understand the likes about other. For example, I know that hero journey for some people is not good. I have friends that don't like about this kind of movies or stories, but uh, it's interesting knows about the likes another about stories because I really like stories about motivation, but another person like another different likes. So I think it's that.
Okay, great. Your turn, Thiago. What did you learn today?
I think that the same that Francine said. Um, it's good to know the different uh, ways or different kinds of the the likes that the people have. Um, I think it's good share these likes, this preference of each one, and I think was that most important to learn in this class.
Okay, great. One more time, thank you for coming here with us. Yanka, please.
I think that I didn't know which kind of story I liked before this immersion. So I learned this, which kind of story I like mainly, and different point of view, as Francine said, different taste of story or way to tell stories. And it was nice to learn more about it.
And for me, I've loved to listen all of you. Like Yanka said, we have a lot of different point of views, and it was interesting because I was thinking that almost of us would have the same way of the view about this topic, but it was interesting. Some people talked about personal histories, like Rosalia said about his father, and me too, the same way, and the hero's history, like Thiago said, and a history have an ending, like Fran said. And yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Guys, well, if we have, I've put on the survey link on the chat. It's totally anonymous. If you want to send a positive or negative feedback, feel free. I appreciate that. If you have some topic that you have interesting to talk about, the same way, share with us, okay? So, okay, guys, that's it. It was a pleasure to be with you, and I hope you have a good day. I have a good week, okay? Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.